Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Josh Hader joins the Astros. That's a nice bullpen. Stephenson and Yariel, they sign as well. Relievers, they're going. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. The offseason continues to go at a slow pace for everyone except relievers. My name is Jimmy. Jake is here. Trev's here. BBD Behind the Dish, brought to you by SeatGeek. Code Talkin helps you out over there. Josh Hader, the number one reliever in free agency, comes off the board, and two more quickly follow him to the Angels and Blue Jays. But the big story is Hader to the Astros and Jake to my left.
Maybe relievers for one of those guys. Oh. James Treviolo, big dude. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Good for football. Have one weekend a year. It's basically over now. Don't need to watch the rest of the way. I think Broncos will just take it home. And yeah, Hader, I think we were all kind of daydreaming another Texas team, and I think it's always funny. It's always funny when Houston shows up in the offseason. It's kind of like we have a good team no matter what, but at some point we're going to flex on you. And they do it with kind of the guy respected as the best reliever, if not the best lefty reliever. And yeah, they've got a back end now, and I'm getting excited for Texas baseball this year. How about them Cowboys, Trev?
Them Cowboys. I know we said Hader's the most important part of this episode, but James, I don't think that's true. I think you want to bring something up, and I just want to get out in front of it right now. We had our guy Gabe Kapler put together maybe the greatest single video in video history last night. Do you guys want to talk about it?
I need to talk about it because I always thought Gabe Kapler was a cool dude that we looked up to. And This video is like Michael Scott levels times a bajillion. So it's Gabe Kapler.
Maybe that was his point.
If he's joking, it's hilarious. If he's not joking, it's real scary. It's real scary if he's not joking. And I don't mean to be rude, Gabe, but
can we play it? Can we play a little snippet of it?
Play a little snippet.
We're talking. I've got a snippet. There's copyrighted music. Maybe on YouTube you're not hearing any of it, but
don't let that make you get in the car. Just walk faster.
Exclusive.
So he opens up, and clearly this situation just happened to him. He's walking, and he says, "Hey guys, if you are going somewhere that's a 10-minute drive, but also that same route, it says it's going to be 15 to 17 minutes walk." So that's a pretty unique need to be somewhere, point A to B, that isn't applicable to everyone. And then he says, well, the 10 minutes probably going to be accurate driving, but that 15 to 17 minutes, you can just walk faster and cut 3 to 4 off. So maybe that stops you from getting in the car. Just walk faster. I don't even know where
Spot the lie, James.
I don't know where the motivation even is in that motivational speech. Like, he didn't land the plane or the metaphor at all. It's crazy.
Can I tell you what I think he's thinking? I think he's thinking Apple's got, or whatever GPS service he uses, has the cars locked down, but not enough people are using the walk feature. I think he's saying the walk feature isn't right.
Oh, I don't think
game the system a little bit.
I think what he's trying to say is like, oh, you're trying to lose weight and get your steps in. Well, you know what? Every time you go to the grocery store, park in the farthest spot away and get those steps in, and that's just a little bit you can do to exercise more in your life. I think he's going for that sentiment, but in the grocery store thing, that's something people say is very relatable. The 15 to 17 minute walk, 10-minute drive, you're probably only in LA. Going from like Starbucks to the beach.
Can I say something? As another well thought out man like Gabe, if you can't trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting you.
Yeah, that's Kipling.
That's Gabe Kapler's Twitter profile bio.
I love that.
That's
So
the best. That's the one of the best poems ever. If by Kipling.
Look, for all the teams trying to gain advantages on the margins, that's what Gabe Kapler's doing, guys. That's why he's a highly sought-after executive right there.
If you can bear to hear the words you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools.
Jim, you might be bringing back Yank-Sox rivalry. That battle for 4th and 5th place. Gabe running the Sox.
But honestly, if
you two bumping horns.
If you're Gabe's boss, you have to text and be like, "This is a joke." It's a joke because we can't be bringing.
Gabe. I want that on the record.
We can't be bringing this type of insight to the GM meetings because that's basically saying, "Hey, man, that guy, he looks like a pretty good prospect, but that one's ranked higher. Must go with that one."
What if the other prospect walks faster, Trev?
Let's talk about Josh Hader, guys. Let's talk about our guy.
This is a big one. The Astros don't usually sign guys to this amount of money, and we have some turkey math that makes it like the highest signing for a reliever ever, which I thought was bull crap, but I get it. So anyway, Josh Hader goes to the Astros on a 5-year, $95 million contract, no deferrals, which makes it the largest contract ever given to a relief pitcher in terms of present day value, because Edwin Diaz $102 million contract with the Mets has deferred money, and that depreciates or whatever. So Astros got their guy. Now, they usually don't spend this big. I think this is the most they've spent on they've spent on a free agent in Jim Crane's whole tenure with the Astros, because they were very much like, they tanked and they had the best prospect pool and have done really well nurturing their own down on the farm. But they lost so many relievers, and they had an amazing bullpen. I think they lost 4 or 5 guys from last year's crop. So you're going to be in the postseason. You're the Astros. Go get your guy. They got.
I mean, I love this signing for them. It's. You mentioned all the guys they lose from the bullpen. They didn't lose anybody like this. You bring in a guy, Josh Hader, who, like, quite possibly might be taking over for one of the best postseason relievers ever. Like, Ryan Presley has said he's willing to give up the 9th inning for Josh Hader. That's how much it means for those guys to get back into the World Series, win another one. He understands that. And you got Abreu, Presley, and Hader, and you can just mix and match and do whatever you want at the end of the game. I mean, I think it is a savvy move, and I think every time we talk about the Astros, we talk about they're about to be in a transitional stage with these guys that have been there for so long becoming free agents. I mean, they got to deal with Altuve, they got to deal with Bregman, even Presley is going to be out of there unless they keep these guys. So I think that's going to be one of the stories of the next couple of years is, what do they do with this? It's a dynasty. I think it is. What do they do with it? How do you keep all these guys around? We'll see. One of the ways to keep your dynasty going is to sign the best reliever going right now. Doesn't Hader have the longest scoreless inning streak in baseball history? Isn't that him? 40-something.
I don't know.
Google it. Hader.
BBD's got the fingers going. So does Jimmer.
It's incredible, man.
Best hair. Nice guy. We've gotten to meet Hader a couple times. Good dude. And, hey, Trev, when it comes to money and contracts, him and Diaz, I know there's some funky math you got to do. Jim found the stat you're looking for.
Boom. Belted a leadoff homer off Hader, whose streak of 40 straight scoreless appearances dating to last season matched Houston Astros reliever Ryan Presley for longest such stretch in MLB history.
Would you look at that?
Fun fact attached.
Would you look at that? Buddies on the back end. Me and That's Trevor Plouffe's story. For Hader, you walk away saying, I got the best reliever contract in MLB history. Guys get proud on that. And, Trev, he's basically getting, double that because no state income tax in beautiful Texas. So Hader's just going to be collecting more than Diaz. So he can flex that on him if he really wants to. The back end of their bullpen's awesome. Brian Abreu is like baseball nerd, sneaky, like, he might be the best reliever in baseball. He's really good. Ryan Presley, at the end of a playoff game, sign me up. I don't know what pitch is coming, neither do you. And now they get Josh Hader back there. So they'll probably be able to match up left and right if they want at the back end. Or, if we're being honest, I think if Josh Hader's Josh Hader, that's kind of just the guy you want. So we'll see how that looks like. If I'm Yordan Alvarez, I'm psyched. They both have 5 years on their contract, so Yordan's like, I never have to see that guy. That's pretty cool. Like, that's one less thing. And yeah, I mean, this felt very Houston to me. Like Jim was saying, the other side of it, free agency, this is technically Crane's biggest contract he's given out in 12 years to a free agent, but they've locked up Altuve, they've locked up Bregman, they've locked up Yordan. When your players are that good, you can just pay them, so you don't have to go deep sea fishing or just have the Mets pay Verlander and then trade for him a little later.
They don't have Bregman locked up, right?
They originally signed him to...
He signed an extension. Now that's almost up.
But that's... I think
6 years they had him.
Because for me, this conversation is Houston's Houston. We're going to see them in October. Are they feeling good? What does it look like? I think the bigger conversation is Verlander. He's got 140 innings to vest to get one more year. Otherwise, this is his last year. So Justin Verlander's like an injury away from being 1 year. Altuve and Bregman are on their last year of their contract, syncing up. So as we watch the Texas Rangers hold the World Series trophy, and like you're saying, Trev, this team is a dynasty. Label them however you want. If you think they're a bad dynasty, I'd take those results. Give me a bad dynasty. If you think you need 3 to make a count or whatever your rules are.
Give me dysentery.
Or give me death. I'm interested to see. We've been wondering. Springer left, Correa left. When's it going to feel different? Like, there's a chance next year when we talk about the Houston Astros, it could actually feel different. But for this year, I mean, they're going to be one of the dogs in the AL.
Yeah, I think what they've been able to do. Oh, sorry, James. Go ahead.
I think they're going to lock up. Well, I don't think so. But if you read all the rumors, the general public seems like, and I think Crane said Tucker and Altuve and Bregman might be the odd one out, which is kind of crazy. But who knows? Maybe they lock all of them up. They've probably been doing pretty well financially.
Yeah, that's the thing is, they've had so much success and they haven't, gone out and signed a ton of free agents and had bad contracts on the books. So I do believe, at some point, you got to take some of that money that you've made making all those postseason games and keep these guys around. But at the same time, when you keep bringing young guys up, like a Yordan, like a Kyle Tucker, like a Jeremy Pena, and those guys are making, league minimum until you have to pay them, which obviously they paid some of those guys, that becomes like the new core. So when a guy like Correa leaves or a guy like Springer leaves, it doesn't feel like you're losing out on everything. It just feels like, oh, that's just, we keep on marching, dude. So even if Bregman leaves, it's like, will it hurt and will it look a little different? Sure, but they still have all these pieces to make up for it. And guess what? I guarantee they got some guys in the pipeline coming up too. They're just a well-run organization.
Yeah, you're right. They also, just on the signing, it is the most they ever spent on a free agent in Crane's tenure. Also, Hader rejected the qualifying offer, so they're giving up their second highest pick in the upcoming draft and $500,000 in international bonus pool money. So this was a big one. It was a big one, yeah.
Trev, the farm thing is interesting. You're right. There's definitely an Astros are the Astros till they're not the Astros. Their farm doesn't look like it used to. I know they've found guys from different parts that were like, where did these dudes come from? But right now, I don't think they've got a top 100 prospect. Like, with that being said, Jeremy Pena is 26. So what? Yainer Diaz is 25. Like, it can become the lifeblood of a team. I think we're at a super interesting spot because originally, just off the top of my head, I was like, you know what? Maybe you stretch out Tuve's years and you can lower the AAV on it. And, he's an Astro for life. You pay him till he's 41. And even if it doesn't look pretty at 40, 41, that number that you're paying him doesn't hurt you as much. And you lock that up. Bregman, man, the career WAR on these guys is insane. Alex Bregman has 35.4 career WAR. He was a 5-WAR player last year. Altuve, 49.3 career WAR. These guys, in my head, because we did hear Bregman trade rumors this offseason, and hey, who knows what kind of money that guy can demand. If he has a big year this year, he's going to demand one of those, I don't know.
A lot, dude.
200
a lot of money.
mil. He's one of those guys. So that's where it does get interesting, and you guys know I daydream about Kyle Tucker's potential next contract way more than I should. So, I don't know. Interesting 12 months coming up for H-Town,
Yes.
Funky Tom City, where the top drop, City of the Purple Drank, Kelsey Wingert.
And you,
Dude,
and
Bregman's
going to
play this year at age 30. He's
Yeah.
going to have an 850 OPS, and he's going to demand what? I don't know, $25 to $30 million a year for 5 to 6 years. I mean, that might be light. This guy is him and LT. They're as consistent as it comes. And if you tell me if you think the same, body type and kind of the way they play, it doesn't feel like that's going to diminish anytime soon. The 30 mark isn't going to hurt these guys. I feel like we're going to see Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve forever. It feels like they're going to play baseball forever and be upper end players in the big leagues forever. Their skill set will allow that. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle all these guys, because you mentioned Kyle Tucker. What are you going to do with him? All these things. They have some decisions coming up, but in the end, you get Josh Hader. And can you imagine? There's not a better 1, 2, 3 in the back end of a bullpen anywhere else. So
You like
good luck.
You like Bregman's body type? Well, Baseball Reference has it listed 6 feet, 192 pounds.
No way.
Yeah, I agree. Guess who else is listed at 6 feet, 190 pounds?
Altuve.
Bryce Matthews. Guess where he was born? Houston. He was their number 1 pick a while ago. He's probably just going to skyrocket up the system and replace Bregman at third.
They gave him 6 foot on Baseball Reference. Okay, guys, let's just.
What are you guys talking about?
I mean, who gives that?
I don't know, dude.
What's you're listed as?
I'm listed at 6'2". That's a extra inch. I'm actually 6'1". I know that.
Okay, 215.
I'm giving Bregman 5'10" and a half.
When do you think your weight was 215?
I got some.
My heaviest years I got up there, 2015, 16. I was that guy.
Do you think you could email them and petition to hey, change this?
Hey, bro, I slimmed down a little bit.
I was
very svelte. Yeah,
I'm actually 6'1", 198.
195.
Okay.
My weight?
No.
Go to DraftKings. DraftKings, America's #1 sports book, the official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Final 4 this weekend. My goodness. You can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code Talkin. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Talkin. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. I'm at Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus. Ages vary by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restriction terms and responsible gaming resources. A little follow-up before we get to the other relievers, semi-relievers that got big contracts. Do you guys think Houston's done?
Yeah.
Right now, the rotation is JV, Framber, Javier, Hunter Brown, and Urquidy.
Good. Better than a lot of other places.
With JP France, who started last year, and then they put him in a rude spot in the playoffs, but threw 136 good innings for them last year.
Just playing friends.
Lance McCullers should come back mid-season. Your guy, Trev. We think Houston, this is it. We got Hader. Let's roll the ball out there.
I don't. I think they're looking at their bench. I think that's an area they could improve on. They have $3 million to spend before they get over the next tax threshold.
Yeah, but that's the deadline. Let's pick a dude up. Picked Verlander up. Took on.
Maybe. I mean, maybe like a Whit Merrifield, something like that, like a depth piece, man. Like I think that's something that the bench to me is lacking a little bit, and they don't necessarily need to do that right now. You're right, James. They could wait and see like kind of how their season's going, who's available, all that good stuff. But,
is that targeted at
I see
John Singleton? I mean, Lindsey Singleton, like our number one friend of the show. What
she listens.
Fuck,
she like.
There's not one spot on the bench. John can have his spot on the bench. I think they need somebody else.
Good job, Trev.
That was good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Trev.
Shout out Linz.
Yeah, she's a Disney adult. We were talking about Disney when I went. So shout out Linz.
Okay.
They got guys like isn't there AAA guys that have been up and down right now?
Your guy Cesar Salazar, he got 19 plate appearances last year. Chris Gittins is in AAA for them. That's just fun for us Yankee fans.
Hell yeah. David Hensley.
Hensley,
he came up in 2021 and was really good.
The original Greek freak. It didn't pan out last year.
Yeah, but he's tall.
We love some
tall.
Corey
How old
Schultz
is he?
highlights.
Oh, he's 27.
Yeah.
He'll get there. He's 6'6".
All right,
Takes a while.
guys.
Dixon Machado.
Yes.
It's a good name. Kennedy Corona. Oh, my goodness. That's a hell of a name. Kennedy Corona?
What was with
May
all
or may
the,
not have some of those today.
What was with all the Framber Bregman trade rumors this offseason?
People are bored.
Because people are saying what they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. I'm very this is one of the biggest.
But they're gonna
storylines
win,
be,
and they're gonna win until they're not there.
and they're gonna win after they're gone too. They've proven that. I mean, Garrett Cole, Carlos Correa, George Springer. They got rid of Verlander, brought him back. I mean, they don't care.
Yeah, the list of
It's
guys
crazy,
that
man.
have left
Yeah.
is actually wild.
Your guy
Big
Josh,
time players, man.
Josh Reddick.
Yeah.
McCann,
They have to leave space to add Maldonado at like midseason.
Cora,
So true. Yeah, Maldonado will be back.
Hinch,
Beltran.
Espada.
Oh man. All right, let's talk about. I want to talk about this next guy.
Do it.
You want to lead it in?
I was trying to find the name of that executive that was
You
like
love him.
that was
Orioles. Just say Orioles.
no, not him.
No.
That's Sig. No, the Wall
one
Street bro dickhead guy that was like yelling at everyone. I was trying to remember his name. Fuck.
Sounds like
Tobman.
Jake, like if he wasn't
What?
on this show,
Tobman.
Wall Street dickhead.
Toppin?
Tobman.
Tobman?
Let him die.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Okay, tell us all about Robert.
Robert Stephenson. I guess I got to get the contract details up for the people. 3 years, $33 million. He signs with the Angels. Relief pitcher. I just love the story because this is a guy who I believe was a first-round pick and kind of like bounced around to a couple different teams. He was in Cincy. He was with Pittsburgh last year, and with like just very average results in the pen. Like had stuff, but you're pitching to a 4.5 out of the pen. You're going to be a middle guy. You're it's not doing anything for these teams, and all of a sudden Tampa trades for him, and every time Tampa trades for somebody, you're like, uh-oh, like what are they going to do? And all they did, my goodness, this guy had the stuff, but their pitching coach, Kyle Snyder, who I believe will probably be a manager somewhere soon, says, hey man, stop throwing your slider like this and just do this or whatever it was. Just move your fingers a little bit. And he became the best reliever in baseball at the end of last year. People were swinging and missing more than they were making contact on his slider. I think they classify it as a cutter, but it's a slider. I watched a bunch of highlights on him.
Dude, Baseball Savant needs to fix it.
It's nasty.
It's a slider. It actually doesn't have a lot of horizontal movement. It's vertical drop. It's like a bullet slider that just goes. So it does. Well, it's not like a break, but it's down.
He added velo on it, and that one is, to me, that velo he got from changing his grip on the raise. Then it became more like vertical and down.
Yeah.
And when you watched him earlier with the Pirates last year, it was a little bit more horizontal. But It's 97 at the top of the zone, so you have to respect that. And then he just gets great arm action on that pitch, whatever he calls it a slider.
Yeah.
But he gets great arm action on that pitch. And it's just, you see the swings the guys are taking on it, and it just disappears. Like, it looks like a fastball out of his hand, and it's gone. And man, he found that pitch. I think that's what people will probably say about this is, well, he did it for 30, 40 innings last year, and that's like the best he's ever been. Can he continue with that? And to that, I say yes.
Yeah. The only
because
question,
now he knows how to hold this baseball a certain way, and he makes it do funny stuff. And that is the life of a pitcher, man. Like, I love it. Like, I love these stories. This guy, if he didn't find this pitch, if Kyle Snyder didn't say, hey, put your fingers like this, he'd be,
yeah, but we're coming to a
in and out of
end.
baseball. And all of a sudden, bam, you got $33 million coming your way. I love this, man.
I love it too, but I mean, the Angels are going to fuck him up. I mean,
no,
this is what
he has all the data now.
That's what they thought with fucking the guy pitcher from the Dodgers that came over.
Heaney.
No, not Heaney.
Oh,
they got the other one.
Tyler Anderson.
Oh,
Tyler Anderson. The Dodgers fixed him. This is what the Angels do. They just go after pitchers that the Dodgers or the Rays or another team fix, and then they bring him into their rotation. They're like, you'll be good for us now, right? And it's like, oh, never mind. Guess coaching matters. So, sorry.
Well, they got new coaches, James. They got new coaches. They're all new coaches over there.
I'm rooting Robert Stephenson on. Don't listen. Just call Snyder up on his backup phone and send him pictures of your grip and your fingers, and he'll be nice about it.
If you're Kyle Snyder, Trev, you're a businessman.
Yeah.
Don't take a managerial job, Kyle Snyder. Just be in like a contracted pitching coach.
Yeah.
Have all of these guys throw you $100K and don't have to deal with any of the bullshit. Because, you do have to be honest, and that's where James comes in sometimes. If this was the Dodgers or the Rays re-signing him, we'd probably be going, watch out for Bobby Steve maybe being the best closer next year. Instead, there's a little bit of fear. And with how volatile relief pitchers can be, it's a little bit of a scary signing for the Angels. I hope they're gross back there. Estevez had an awesome season. I'm going to fight back with you guys. It is a cutter. It's just a down cutter. We're cutting it down, baby.
It's got a lot of movement.
That I hope it's fully clicked. And hey, like you also said, Trev, there's the good stuff here. He found the pitch. He's like a first-round arm talent. Maybe it's just coming together, and maybe it's low mileage, and he's going to be nasty for the next 3 years. I mean, with any signing, and we're not these guys, but in the Rays school of business, like Nick Anderson, remember how much he came up, and then he had some injury problems. There's always a little bit of risk. The Angels, they always need pitching. They brought in pitching. Gonna root for Robert Stephenson. If this was with another team, we'd be hype. The Angels leaves you with just a little bit of nerves. But I'm happy for a dude that you're right, Trev. I mean, this guy was doing the MLB vagabond life. The Rockies, the Pirates, the Reds. I mean, no shots fired. I think those teams will fire their own shots at themselves the past few years. That he goes to Tampa, he gets a little bit of that good juice, and he turns it into life-changing money. Like, that part is awesome.
It's a great story. I'm buying all the Angels stock. I already bought it up.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
gross.
I think they're going to be competitive. I think.
No, you don't.
I think they got. I do, James. I really do. I like their lineup more than a lot of people.
More than
Rendon's
Texas.
quotes lately have not been great.
More than
want
Houston.
Rendon to stop talking to the media, please.
Trev, stop.
Please
Stop babying the Angels fans.
I am not babying them, James. I'm not saying they're going to go win the AL West, but I think they're going to be better than a lot of people give them credit for. And they've been making moves. They're trying at least a whole new coaching staff, bringing guys in. I get we got to see it on the field, and I get it's justified the way that most of us feel about the Angels. Angels fans know that too. I'm just saying.
No, they don't.
Guys in
they're the most.
I like them.
The Angels fans should be like desolate, but they're always believing, which blows my mind. Like last year, I ranked them having one of the most disappointing off seasons, and I got destroyed by our audience, Angels fans, saying, "What are you talking about? They did so good." And I said, they got a bunch of reclamation projects. They still don't have a roster. And now they're worse because they lost Ohtani.
I think last year broke them. I think it was the final Ohtani year, and then they kept them.
That was a tough one.
It ended angrily again. Yeah, I mean, Trev, the Rangers, Astros, Mariners. It's just and what they're doing there. I'll tell you what. I think there's different stages of Angels grief. I think I was where you were 2 years ago. I think you're gonna feel some anger probably after this season at like how
You're
are
talking
we,
to me?
How are we doing this? And now I've kind of landed in like a camp counselor lane with the Angels, where it's like I want them to look at me in like 15 years and be like, man, Jake was, he was nice. Like he wanted the best for us, but
Well, I do too.
I
I want
think the best is there.
I want Trout in the playoffs. I wanted Ohtani in the playoffs. That's why it got me so upset.
Yeah.
Teams that don't have that talent, I don't really put a lot of care into wanting them to be good, but I wanted the Angels to be really good the last 5 years, and they never had a proper offseason once. They gave Rendon a contract that Jake and I heard from multiple people at winter meetings before Rendon signed. Don't look for him to get a long-term contract. He openly doesn't want to play baseball for more than 2 more years. We heard that from people that very much know the situation and had good insight. And we were like, oh, shit, man. Like, it's that well known that he doesn't like baseball, that teams aren't going to offer him. You know who did? The Angels.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's got a bad quote out there right now talking about shortening the baseball season, too many games, which, you know what, like, I think a lot of people can feel that way. I think maybe we take 7 games off or something like that, give some more off days to the people. So I almost understand where he's coming from, but that's just not, you don't want, like, Anthony Rendon shouldn't be the guy saying that because of, how we already view this and what you just talked about. Just kind of like put those two together. And man, that's tough, dude. If he's on your team, if you're an Angels fan and you got your knee-length Dickies on, your black socks and your spiked hair with your chain belt, like, you're probably not happy with that quote, right?
No, you're not.
He should have just not said that, but like in that episode, like in the clip, like right before he says that line, he does say, and I am saying an answer here that people will take the wrong way. So like he knew what he was getting into a little bit.
But he believes that.
He could be a little shorter.
Taken the wrong way.
He believes it with all his heart. And if they're making the playoffs, this many people get in, I am with him. Make it like 154 and have it be more organized so it's easier to watch and follow along, because spring training wild card series stink.
Couple more off days.
I'm giving them like 1 more year to change it.
Couple more off days, get the olds a little more rest. I'm about that life. But yeah, Tony can't say that. But the most important thing is Tony also doesn't give a shit what we're saying. So,
oh no, 100% doesn't care.
Although, remember, did he fight an Oakland A's fan last year?
Yeah, opening day in Oakland.
Oh,
he was like, I don't want to play this. Let me get suspended.
God, that was incredible.
Suspended.
Trev, your other guy, I guess you, one of your GM formulas. I talk about my binder a lot. You have your formula. It's Cuban pitchers, or Cuban ball players, excuse me. And Yariel Rodriguez, he comes over. And he was an interesting free agent because let's be honest, with a lot of the international guys, we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. He's got some numbers in Japan. He's been closing, and he's been doing it at a high level, which seems like there should be some translation there. But he also started for the Cuban national team a little bit. And we're in this era of baseball where we're hunting innings and relievers if you can make the jump to become a starting pitcher. Like it feels like relievers wanted that door to be open for years, and it's finally swung open. And he gets a 4 for 32. So I think 1 year more with $1 million less than Robert Stephenson, who has basically a big, 2/3 of a year last year and cashes in on it. Yariel comes in. He's supposed to have a big fastball. And with the Blue Jays, who they have a full rotation more or less, the rumor is he did want to sign with a team that was going to give him an opportunity to start. So we think that they're probably telling him, hey, let's keep you stretched out. If injury comes, you're the guy. But the Blue Jays get involved this offseason.
Yeah, this one's interesting for me. I mean, $8 million for a guy is kind of like, what you would give, almost like a middle reliever or something like that, maybe a little higher. But it is interesting how we've seen teams approach trying to get more innings out of their relievers, calling them whatever you want to call it, a swing starter. But What my question, I guess, is like, what makes him believe he can do that? Has he done this before? It seems to me like he's done like 50 innings, 60 innings, 50 innings. And all of a sudden he skips this year, pitches in the World Baseball Classic, doesn't pitch in the MPB. And now all of a sudden he's going to be a guy that's going to give you 120 innings. Like, where did they come up with that? Just because he said, that's what I want to do. And they're like, okay, now we're supposed to believe he's going to be a swing starter. I got to see it. I don't know a ton about this guy. Of course I love that he's Cuban because I believe all Cubans are just born better at baseball than the rest of the world. Fight me on that. But I got to see it from this guy. I don't know how they're going to use him, but the reports now of him trying to, have that longer leash, I guess, or, 2-3 inning guy. He hasn't done it before, has he? Am I missing something?
I'm missing a lot. It's just, it feels like these signings, they definitely have more info than the public, which they should. And they should know more. I just wish I could tap into it somehow, or they were a little more open about it or something. Like, what was his market? Were other people around this? And is Peter Moylan mad? When he pitched really well in the World Baseball Classic and then got a contract, I think probably got a minor league deal. They're getting $30 million now, Pete. Right away. It's nuts.
I sent Gabe's video to one of my friends. And his response was, dude, that's not real. No way. Please tell me that's not real. We don't know if it's real.
Yeah, I hope it's not. If you find out,
Gabe could just be the funniest person ever.
Yeah, if Gabe texts you crying emoji, just on the side, just let me know because I need to be. I need this taken off me.
Should I text? I have not texted him.
No, you can't.
About it.
No.
Do you think he knows that this is going on the internet? Like people are saying, what?
Yeah.
Gabe is an IG model. He has over 200K followers on Instagram.
Yeah, but
he posts when he goes to his TikTok.
But posts when he goes to a steak restaurant.
But that is a movie about a vapid model, making fun of the industry of models being dumb. That's like the weather report where she feels her boobs and says it's raining. It's like that level of thought. You're crazy.
Can I read just an excellent response to that? It was our tweet that went out talking about or showed the video, and our girl Vanika, who's been on the show before, everyone remembers Vanika. She quote tweeted it and said, "He's too hot for his own good because I really sat here and watched this stupid video about walking faster just to stare at his face." Boom.
That's the secret.
She nailed it.
That's pretty girl syndrome.
I think if I post that video, I'm canceled. Gabe posts that, and the world's talking about it.
Oh, shoot, man.
Can I say something?
I have something about Moylan.
Okay. I want to close the loop on Yariel a little bit here.
Oh, okay.
I have a trade to submit.
Okay.
Yariel Rodriguez from the Toronto Blue Jays for Robert Stephenson of the Los Angeles Angels. Blue Jays get a high leverage arm on the back end. We'll see the variance there. Angels get a guy with potentially more upside. He's younger. He's just about to turn 27, and maybe he can eat more innings.
Well, I just like whoever the Blue Jays sign more.
Right.
So I'll stick with the Blue Jays guy.
Okay.
I'll take Stephenson.
I'd take
even
Stephenson
over a Cuban.
Then you just did the trade. You both just did the trade.
Oh, if I'm the Jays, I do that trade. Yeah.
Who got signed first?
Ooh, good question.
Same time.
And who's up next?
Same time.
Who's up next on the reliever market? D-Rob?
Neris.
Oh, Neris. Yeah, I forgot about
he's
Neris.
getting multi-years. I think Yariel went first, but that's just off the top.
So Hader went, and then the teams that were like, well, we're not paying that kind of money for Neris. They saw the market, and they're like, oh, we're out. Let's go to the tier 2. They went and got Stephenson and Yariel. Article about Peter Moylan when he joined the Braves in spring training from 2006. And a good quote from Bobby Cox here about Moylan. His quote is, "The Australian looked all right. He's got a nice little breaking ball and a changeup. That's a good sign. It's not like he cost us a fortune."
By the way, Peter Moylan at that point throwing a hunch from an angle that an arm's not supposed to do that from. So,
I don't know if he was at a hunch yet. We can ask him. This article says it was low 90s.
I think he was. I think that was like the whole. He'll send us.
Can I say something about Australia?
Okay.
Yeah,
James, you're kind of an expert on it, having lived there.
for sure.
I said yesterday to a group of people that I'm with, I would love to go visit Australia, like take a vacation there. And they all said, why? Like, why would you do that? And my response to that was, well, I did a class project early on in my life about Australia. And that's like one of the cooler countries that you can get because, koalas and kangaroos and all that fun stuff. Great Barrier Reef.
Well, yeah, I don't
A
understand.
lot of cool things about it. My question to you, James, is it worth taking a vacation there? Like, should I do that?
Well, definitely. If you're on the East Coast, you need to take like a 8 to 10 day vacation because it's a day flight, so that stinks. So, and it costs a lot of money. But yeah, what are they talking about? Australia is
Like it's a big
it's
destination.
a huge destination vacation spot.
Do people really go there? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of
I think there's a lot to
coastline.
do
A lot of
there. You have the Sydney
beaches.
Opera House, a lot of beaches.
Oh yeah, there's tons of shit. Great Barrier Reef. There's you can go up to Queensland. We did the whole Gold Coast. Yes, a lot of people do when they go is they get like RV campers and they drive up and down from like Canberra up to like, Queensland and shit like that. We did that. I want to go
Shout out-
back because I
shout
haven't
out
been
Perth.
since No, don't go to Perth.
I just shouted it out. I'm not going there.
Yeah,
Just
don't go.
shout out.
That's where like the fucking crazies are.
Just
like
shout
Moylan.
him out.
All the ball players are from Perth. Dude.
Yes.
That's the crazies over
Yeah,
there.
because that's an island in an island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you for answering that, James.
not an actual island for those people. It's just outback all around them. Yeah, I want to go back really bad. I haven't been
Maybe we'll
back
make that
since
happen.
I was 10 when I moved away.
Talking baseball, Australia tour 2025, maybe.
Milo's dream.
One's already there.
That's the news.
BBD would kill it in Australia. BBD, I'm just telling you right now.
You know who's killing it in Australia? Greg Bird on Moylan's team.
Love that.
So
Spring
many
training
questions.
invite.
Do you guys want to give some snaps on these potential quick hitters real quick and then move on our way?
Throw them my way.
I'm going to mess the name up, so you guys go with the first one.
Is it Rachel Balkovec? I'm not even looking at the sheet, but
yes.
It is.
It is.
Nailed it.
Congratulations. The Marlins hired Rachel Balkovec as Director of Player Development. Snap. She's really cool. She's been on the show before or a different show.
Talking
Talkin'
Yanks.
Yanks.
Talking
Yanks.
Yanks.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Snaps for Dusty Baker. He reunites with the Giants as a special assistant in the front office.
That could be the
And I'm not going to
difference.
snap for this one. White Sox discussing possibility of a new ballpark.
Oh,
Okay.
Are we snapping for that?
No.
you said
I
no.
would guess most teams every offseason discuss the possibilities.
No snaps for that. Although I do love Chicago.
Keep the guns and the bullets out this time because that fan got shot and everyone stopped talking about it without finding out what happened, even though we know what happened.
That's so true. Oh, man.
Cardinals signed DH Matt Carpenter.
Cute.
Like it. Reunions are fun. We always like that.
Yeah, reunions are fun, and I think they're just a little desperate for like, can you show the kids the Cardinal way? We kind of lost.
100%.
We kind of
100%.
1,000%.
like Lance Lynn, Gibby, like they are just desperate for veteran. Like this is what it means to be a big leaguer, guys. And it feels like they're very much, getting guys in here to be almost like Segway camp counselors.
I don't hate it, dude. Sometimes you got to do that. Obviously, what happened last year is not acceptable in St. Louis, but they got some veterans there now.
Yep. That's the show. Subscribe. Appreciate you.
Subscribe.
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 There's a grotto
Why
at the
not
place I'm staying. My goodness.
Ooh, Drake sucks. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum.
Last thing, there's a urinal in this place that has on the wall above it a place to rest your head. So you just put your head on it, hands down. And it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's nice if it's not gross.
It's not.
I gotta
It's
see a
not.
picture.
Jake, you would love this thing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'll show you. I actually do have a picture of it.
Am I tall enough for that ride?
So you see the red pad?
Yeah.
Oh.